All right. Hey, unit commissioners, thanks for visiting this video about our Merit Badge Pow Wow. And I want to quickly discuss with you a few things because it's getting to be crunch time. So let's talk about, there's three things I really want to talk about. The timeline of our Merit Badge Pow Wow, where we are now, and where we need to be by the time we get to the Pow Wow. Talk to you about getting counselors, what resources we have available, and then just at the very end, some tips. Okay, so let's talk about the timeline here. The dates of the Pow Wow are January 14th, 21st, and 28th. And those are Saturdays. And roughly it's going to be from like 7:30 to like 12:30 is what the time frame is going to be on each of those days. I had set up a October 31st deadline to get our counselors by so that we could get everything set up in Tenaroo and do some other things that are necessary with the counselors. But I don't think we're going to meet that deadline because it's less than 2 weeks away. And I haven't seen very much activity as far as counselors go. Okay, so we're going to miss that deadline. But we're less than 90 days away. So it is really time to get this thing done. 60 days before the Pow Wow, which would be roughly around November 15th, I've got to get things set up in Tenaroo. They wanted 90 days. We actually promised them 90 days, and we're not going to meet that deadline because it's already passed. So we need to meet this next deadline around November 15th. Tenaroo is how the boys will sign up for their classes, and we got to get that set up in time for them to sign up. So it needs to be done like within 30 days from now. And we can only put merit badge counselors on Tenaroo. We can only put merit badges on Tenaroo that we have counselors for. Last year they let it slide, and obviously boys signed up for classes we didn't have counselors for, and obviously that's not going to work very well. And that did not go well. I had a lot of complaints and a lot of upset parents and scoutmasters, and we don't want to repeat that. We want to make this the best experience possible for these boys and their parents. So let's talk about getting counselors. I know this is on the back of your mind. It's been that way for several months now. Now's the time to start getting these counselors. And so the counselors, once we get them, we have to have them fill out an application as a counselor. And then we have to register them through the Boy Scouts of America as a counselor, and they have to do the youth protection training. So I have to have all those things done to set them up as a counselor for the Pow Wow. And I have to turn those things in. Once I receive them from the counselors, I have to turn them in to the council. And they have to go through it, and they have to initially really approve. And I haven't seen anyone that wasn't approved, but if there was a problem with their registration, then we need to have that taken care of. And if there's a problem, then we can't use them as a counselor, but we have them in there working with the boys, then that causes a problem. So we got to get that done right away. So my goal is by November 10th, to have a meeting with the counselors so I can meet them face to face. We can go over any questions and give them answers that they need, and pretty much give them an overview of what's expected of them and what will happen. I don't want to wait till we get to the Pow Wow and finally meet them. I wanted to meet them well in advance, and if they have any questions, they can feel free to contact me, especially if they've met me and they know who I am. We want to hold this meeting on November 10th at 8:10 p.m. at the Harriman South Stake Center. That's just south of Rosecrest Road and Juniper Crest Road, right next to the fire station. So let's talk about some resources. I know this is a headache for some of you. Others of you have no problem getting counselors. You can do it. You can. Some of you have just been able to. You've done 3 or 4 or 5 of these last year for me. But for others of you, you're new, or this is one of the hardest things for you, is talking to other people about doing this, or, let's have some fun with this. Think about the merit badges you've been assigned, and think of anyone that you think that and they don't have to be within your boundaries of your stake. It could be anybody that hopefully that lives close by, but that could help out with those merit badges. Maybe if you are doing fingerprinting or first aid, a policeman or a fireman or a doctor who could do those merit badges, okay? So think of anyone that that you think would be able to be a counselor. Another resource is the young men's leaders that are in your wards. They know a lot of people. They talk to the bishop weekly. The bishop knows a lot of people. So call them, email them, text them, and let them know that you're looking for counselors. And you can actually make an assignment to them. Say, hey, I need you to find a counselor for this merit badge. You have like 8 to 10 wards in your stake or something like that. Contact every young men's leader in those wards and make some assignments. And then obviously what's really important is to follow up. After you've made an assignment, follow up with them. Call them back a week later and tell them right up front. Say, hey, I'm going to call you in a week and see where we're at on this assignment. And keep following up. Call them week after week until you get some answers, until they say, no, I can't find anybody. Another resource would be put a letter in the sacrament meeting. Basically, you have it read by a scoutmaster or a young men's leader or the bishopric who's in charge, and just say, hey, we have a merit badge powwow for the Boy Scouts in January on these dates. We're also looking for counselors. If you have any interest, please contact so-and-so. Okay, it doesn't have to be a full detailed letter, but just let them see who's interested. Find out who's interested in the different wards. Another great resource is the Scoutmasters. The Scoutmasters have really stepped up for me, and I know they've done it in previous merit badge powwows, where they were just there on the spot and they saw a need, so they filled in. That's like the worst case scenario. What I would rather have is a Scoutmaster help out and well in advance, know about it well in advance, be prepared, and have all the documents that we need from him instead of waiting till the last second to have him fill in. I'd rather use him up front. Don't forget the women in your stake. They could be a great resource for counselors. I just to give you an example, I've had there's an attorney in our ward who's really helped me out with getting those first few ranks. There's those citizenship requirements, and she's always stepped in and helped teach those for me. So, there's a lot of women who could help out in being a counselor. And the most important thing is to follow up. You've made assignments to your young men's leaders. You had them read a letter in the sacrament meeting. You've talked to Scoutmasters. You've talked to some of the women. Follow up with them. And let them know, hey, I'm going to call you back in a week and see what you think about this. And then do it. That's the most important thing, is follow up. Okay? So the last thing here I want to talk about is some quick tips. First of all is start now. Communicate. We've been putting this off for several months. Now is the time. Okay? Communicate, make the phone calls, send out the emails, make the assignments. If you put it off another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's going to be worse and worse for you. So take some time this week and make assignments, start talking about it. Let's get her done. And let's have some fun with it. I know it's a very stressful time for some of you, but just, have fun with it. Make it a fun opportunity. And then Another thing you could do is reward those who are helping you. That always helps out. You know, buy them a Frosty from Wendy's or something, or send them some donuts. You know, you only need, out of your whole steak, you need 2 or 3 people to step up and help out. And that's it. Or if you have another person, maybe they're not in your steak, but they're going to help out. Reward them, you know, because we really appreciate what they're doing for our boys, because it's a huge help to them in earning these merit badges. So again, we're 4 months into this. We started this back in June. We've been putting it off. Now's the time. Let's get it done. And really, I would just want to thank you thank you in advance. I know that we're going to pull this off. We have over 60 days, really just under 90 days to get this done. That's plenty of time. Please really work hard for the next 2 to 3 weeks so that we can meet the November deadline. And please leave me any questions or comments below. If you don't see a comment box, scroll back up to the title of this post and click on it, and that will take you to a page where you can leave comments. And they should be underneath this video. Okay, so again, thank you. I look forward to working with you, and we're going to make this a great powwow.